Hello and welcome to another episode of Video Games to the Max. This is number 454 of the show, and here with me, as usual, Mr. Mark Morrison.
Howdy.
I'm your host, Sean Garmer, and well, there is a lot to talk about here today. You have a backpedal from Xbox on $80 games. Does that mean that gamers win? We're going to go back to $70 for everything now. Sony has a mysterious job listing about multi-platform strategy. What is that? Are they about to turn into Xbox number 2? And Nintendo has amazing sales for the Switch 2. Not to mention EA finally announced Battlefield 6. And a whole bunch of other stuff. Sony's even suing Tencent in what feels like it should have happened like a year ago. And it's happening now. More on Donkey Kong Bonanza. And there's plenty more to discuss. But let's do that right after this.
You are listening to Video Games to the Max.
All right. Well, how was your weekend?
Good. Saw Fantastic Four and finished up The Sandman.
Sweet. I'm watching that tomorrow.
I seen Fantastic Four.
Yeah, Fantastic Four, yeah. I watched Happy Gilmore 2 twice. Also, it was my girlfriend's birthday, so we went to we're both big Gordon Ramsay fans, so we went to the Hell's Kitchen that's in downtown Miami. Hefty price tag for what they serve there. But hey, it was a cool experience. At least you could say you went there.
Right.
And then we went to go. I don't really know what the English term for this. Okay. In English. So apparently it's called the Spanish lime in English. We call it namon or mamoncillo. It's like these really small green fruits that are like hanging really high up on trees. To the point where you have to have like basically like a hook or something to get them off. And so we went, my girlfriend has a friend that like they have like a big like a ranch and they have them there. And her dad had built this like hook thing to try to get them off. It wasn't working. So I got on the ladder and the first time I was able to pull a branch down and get a bunch of them off or whatever. And the second time, didn't go so well for me. I fell off the ladder and had this big bruise on my left side, and like the right side of my leg like hurts really bad. So it's been feeling better today, but it's I get the reminder of it feels like the bad memory of my wrestling days of hey, I don't remember this hurting that bad. But at least it was in the grass and not, but whatever. It was, I guess, a memory now I will have from going to go pick some fruit. So,
right.
But hey, at least we got a bunch of them. So everybody's happy. Everybody got to eat. And that's all that matters in the end. But all right, talking about video games here. Let's go ahead and get the housekeeping out of the way. Do appreciate everybody that watches, whether you watch live, watch later on the YouTube channel. W10 Network is where you can find us there, or you can listen on Video Games to the Max on whatever podcast place that you like, listening to podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that stuff, YouTube Music. We're all there. You can, like, subscribe, give us a review. That always helps. We do appreciate you if you can do that. The plus of having the YouTube channels, you not only get what we do here, but we talked about some entertainment stuff. We have a whole group that does an amazing job, Relative Broadcasting team. Marc and his team, they're actually reviewing the Fantastic Four First Steps movie as we speak right now. But of course, you can watch that later or listen to it later. You go subscribe to Relative Broadcasting, or if you like anime, you can go subscribe to Otaku Cafe. They cover all the seasonal anime every week. So if you like to keep up with the seasonal anime, there's plenty to keep up with this week or this season. So definitely go check them out. Give them a like, all that stuff that helps them out. So if anything, you can always listen to them on podcasts as well. So that helps. But all right, let's get into the video game side of things, the things that we're playing. Anything else you've been playing, Marc, since the last night?
God, I'm still banging away at Death Stranding too.
That sounds like more like work than enjoyment there.
Yeah, it is. I mean, that's kind of the whole game also, but like, it's just so repetitive, I saw something like that, like, 80% of players keep playing it after the credits roll. And it's like, yeah, because like the game isn't like, it's not like you finish. I mean, the game just kind of goes endlessly, really, because it's just the same, 30 or 40 repetitive tasks over and over. And people want to get that platinum trophy, and that takes a while. So, see, I haven't put it in yet. I got a WWE code for Switch 2.
I was wondering if you got that or he gave it to somebody else.
Because
Adam asked me, and I was like, oh, not right. Really not looking forward to that.
I haven't said that to him. Well, he asked me, and I was like, this is more something that Sean would want. And he's like, no, he's basically his girlfriend. I was like, yeah, that'll do it every time. I don't know.
I told him that I wouldn't be able to start playing until Wednesday, and he's kind of like, man, I need that thing like reviewed fast because
Oh, I didn't tell that to me.
401's number one game or whatever.
Okay, I guess I should actually then start playing it.
And well, I don't know if I guess that means they didn't get an Xbox or PS.
No, he sent me. He sent me a Switch code or Switch 2 code. So.
Well, I meant like they don't have another review of the game on the site, do they?
Right. No.
Yeah. So they kind of want that probably reviewed quickly.
I guess I'll finally have to open up my Switch 2.
There you go. That's a good reason.
Let's see. Yeah, I was gonna get Donkey Kong, but I just didn't hit Costco yet. I went to it, but kind of had to turn back, so I was like, damn it. And then Yen's got a double dose of good games that I might check out. He got Wu Chong, which I downloaded, which I'll give a shot eventually. And then he bought the other his game of the year, The Mind's Eye. Or Mind's Eye.
Why?
He likes bad stuff.
Okay, I guess.
I mean, he loved Ride to Hell Retribution. Remember that piece of shit? And
yes.
he keeps trying to guilt/talk me into playing Earth Defense Force 6, and I'm like, you are.
Isn't that like one of his favorite franchises or whatever? That doesn't surprise me.
I mean, I guess, but they're all bad games. So, or like, if bad might be pushing it a little, but they're all like extremely mediocre games.
But at least that one you can enjoy with him.
Yeah, we played Iron Angel or Iron Rain, or the fuck that one was. We hated that one. And yeah, that turned me. I mean, they're all like that. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll give Wu Chong a shot eventually. I'll
play that for a little bit, but I can't. Like, I'm literally in the beginning area. So.
Yeah, it ain't your type of game. It's also like not multiplayer, which kind of makes me less interested in it. It's funny to hear him rant about Souls-likes. I mean, he's a huge dork about that stuff, but he hates the Surge and the Surge 2 because He's
Oh,
like,
because
Surge.
isn't it because it has its weapon base, or it's shooter base, and
No, Surge too, or both of them are still like melee focused. But I mean,
okay,
his main criticism of like the Surge one was it just takes place in a bunch of like gray warehouses, and I'm like, yo, dog. Most of Dark Souls takes place in dark black
yeah.
caves and shit
Dark
like that.
Souls.
Like
A lot of Dark Souls is not like, I wouldn't say it's some amazing level design or anything.
I mean, hey, there are like iconic or very cool looking locations in every Dark Souls game, but
Yeah,
you're still going through a dark cave sooner or later. So, and even like the Surge one, I could accept that criticism of that game, but the Surge 2 actually did do something about it. Like it actually has very different locations.
right.
And he still won't play it. And meanwhile, he loves this one stupid castle from the Vampire Souls. Like I forget the name of it, God Eater or not God Eater. Oh damn it! They just announced a sequel, which baffled me. Oh,
Oh, I think the Capcom one.
Code Vein.
Yeah, Code Vein, yeah.
I don't think that's Capcom, is it?
Mm-hmm. That's Capcom.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
But he defends that. No, that's Bandai Namco.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. That's right.
But he defends this one level in that game, which is like this big cathedral-looking maze that is like completely untextured. It's just like white, And I'm like, yeah, this is real artistic.
Hey,
But
it's
I'm like,
he got the anime Souls game that he wanted to.
I'd rather play the. I even told him I'd rather play the stupid bloody mazes from Max Payne 1. But yeah, that's about it for me. How's the banana collecting in Donkey
Bonanza.
Kong?
Yeah. I did play Wuchang for a little bit.
Yeah,
Beat
that ain't.
took
I can tell you
forever to
right.
beat the tutorial boss.
I can tell you right now that ain't your type of game. So just stop.
I know, but it's Game Pass, so I said, why
Yeah.
not give it a whirl? Yeah, I like the like setup for it, the whole like story and the Chinese like history part of it. They do a long like drawn out part before you get to the area where you're actually fighting enemies to kind of let you like get whatever you want out of the story at your own pace, kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
I will say that is as I keep playing Death Stranding 2, my real hope for that game is when they make Death Stranding 3. Like the whole concept of Death Stranding 2 is like, oh, a portal opened to Australia and now you're over there. My hope for Death Stranding 3 is like a portal opens to like the Congo or somewhere in Africa, and Sam goes through it, and an African American guy shows up and is like, hey, without white people, we're cool. We don't need the chiral network. Go away. It's like we built Wakanda. We're good. Because isn't like part of like Wuchang the story like part of China or part of like the area is like corrupted or
yeah, exactly. That's why they have the feathers or
right.
Yeah, and the powers are cool, so I like that part of it. Just like again, I'm not a very Souls like familiar, so it took a while to beat the freaking big boss at the beginning.
I heard a review that was like made it kind of seem like the combat's like very repetitive. Like it's just like, oh, just keep hitting the boss and dodging, build up the power thing, use it, and then do it all over again. And it's like that. Okay, I mean, I guess.
Yeah, because there's just dodging, right? It's
right.
You're dodging everything, and then it's like that kind of like, it's not a dodge roll. It's like just like a side. Yeah, you're like just dodging over there, dodging over here,
right.
And that's kind of it. So yeah, He is really freaky looking. I like the art design of him, of that first boss that you meet.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty typical, Soul stuff. Apparently on PC it doesn't run very well, which is
Right.
getting a lot of negative reviews on that end. And then also, people have discovered that apparently you can just have her wear like bathing suits, so that's getting that crowd all hyped up about that.
Yep.
And then most of my time's been with Donkey Kong Bonanza again.
Right.
I don't know where I am in the, like I would imagine I'm like halfway through, but I don't know, because I heard some folks said that they thought they were like at the end of the game, and then they still had a ton to go through. But that the ending is very rewarding, so it's well worth, getting through that. So I'm definitely want to make my march through there. But it's just fun. I get constantly go off the beaten path to go break something or find something or find a banana or get into one of those like little levels that they have that you're either doing the 2D platforming or you're finding something or beating up something or so it's constant dopamine, which I've seen a lot of people that are kind of old school gamers that are not like they don't play a lot of the modern games, apparently do not like the game because of that. Like it's like
Right.
Donkey Kong doesn't have a main objective because you're constantly finding something, right? Whereas in the 2D Donkey Kongs, you have I got to get to the end of the level, spill out Kong, that kind of thing, and you're getting to the boss at the end and whatever. Whereas this game, it's like the bosses are laughable.
Right.
It really is just about kind of just exploring the world and enjoying it, and for that, Nintendo has a magic about that. Recently, I mentioned all the different ones that are kind of very. You could tell that they took from Kirby, Zelda, and definitely obviously Mario. It has all kind of Mario touches in it. And they do a great job with that. It's funny because I don't like the Zelda games, but I will play Donkey Kong and go explore places.
Well,
So
like Zelda, like a lot of like I would say probably more complex systems.
yeah,
That I mean, to some people it's a good thing, but to some people it's bad. Like weapon
right.
durability or like having like I doubt there's a cooking mini game in Donkey Kong.
No, there's not. I mean, so and like they do have some of those little off the beaten things are kind of like the shrines
Right.
in Zelda, so that kind of has that and it's fun. But yeah, I'll keep plugging away at it.
Yeah.
Let's see how far I get
Let's
through
see who
this
can beat
week.
her. Let's see who can beat our respective game first, you or me.
Yeah, right. Um, yeah. So we'll see how far I get till next week. But we'll talk about more Nintendo stuff later. I guess we should go ahead and start with Xbox and their big change from what seemed like we were headed to the Outerworlds 2 coming out at $80. Just randomly, a report came out from IGN that Microsoft was changing course and they are now going back to $69.99, $70, 70 US dollars, whatever you want to call it. Obviously this works out for, the whole premise of the Outer Worlds 2, whole
Right.
going
Capitalism
against the
bad.
corporation, capitalism bad thing where they're like I like that they had that whole post of in character where they're kind of like, oh, we were able to take out redacted and be able to lower the price for you or whatever.
They were, they were able to cut 9,000 jobs, so the game is now cheaper.
Nice. Yeah, I'd imagine that most of this is due to low pre-orders. Also, I think
I mean,
yeah.
well, yeah, no pre-orders or yeah, like
Well, there was a lot of backlash about this.
Right.
People just being upset of like, hey, you know, this is not the game you really needed to do the whole $80 with.
I mean,
Um,
well, A, the game's on Game Pass, so no one's gonna buy it on the Xbox. And then B, like, I don't think it was a huge seller on the like PlayStation, like the first one at least, or it's
well,
fine.
but even
But
then, the whole point is like you're going to get even less sales if it's $80.
right, oh yeah,
So, I think that's what they saw. I saw a lot of people that, as soon as it changed, they went and pre-ordered it at 70. They were
Yeah.
okay with paying 70, but they were kind of like doing the whole, rebuffing, let's all go to 80 thing, which I applaud, and it also doesn't help that I think that I really do think Xbox thought, or, Microsoft thought, okay, Nintendo opened the door, more people are going to go to 80. There's probably still going to be people that are going to do it. There's rumors that, EA is going to try with Battlefield 6. We'll see how well that turns out.
That'll really
Yeah.
net them that population they want.
Like, I'm surprised they didn't try to keep it with Call of Duty, but I guess they're smart in that, like, let's not try to get people against the one game that we for sure need to make sure it sells.
Right.
So, and they said it's not just Outerworlds 2, it's also, Ninja Gaiden 4 and, the rest of the holiday lineup. So that's positive too, because yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. Nintendo can get away with a theoretical $80 game because most people would argue there's more value there.
Well, also you have the option of buying the bundle and saving $30.
Right.
So, and they knew that they were going to have enough quantity for people that wanted to buy the bundle and save the $30. You definitely could do that. Right.
Yeah.
I did that because I already had a $50 enough in points,
right,
or credits or whatever on my Switch 1. So I said, I'm only going to pay $30. So who cares? I'll just get the Switch 2 without the game in it. Yeah. But people are being very budget conscious right now, and I think that's the thing is like you can raise the price of your console that nobody's buying, and it doesn't really make a difference.
Yeah.
But when you need people to buy your games, it doesn't make sense for you to do this with the Outerworlds 2 and Ninja Gaiden and the rest of the games that you're I don't know if Keeper is going to be even 70. That game should be budget. No. Should be a budget title. I don't. Yeah.
It should be $20, but it should. I'd say like 50.
I think they haven't even revealed how much it's going to cost, or
right.
I think it still just says, okay, it's coming out this day on October 17th, but it doesn't have a price. But yeah, I do think it's interesting that they kind of self-admitted that, hey, we need to kind of go backwards on this.
Right.
It's I mean, and like they always do with their stuff, they can make it look like they meant to do this the whole time, but whatever.
Let me ask you this theoretically. I mean, I know you're going to play the game on Game Pass, so it's kind of moot. But let's say you were going to buy the game. Would you rather have paid 70 for it and had all the people laid off, or 80 for it and had them not be laid off?
Well, I would. I mean, if you're telling me that's what it is, I'll pay the $10 extra to have people keep their job, but that has nothing to do with why those people lost their jobs. Let's be honest. That has more to do with the other story that we have in conjunction with this, with Satya Nadella, basically essentially saying that the layoffs weigh on him, that he feels bad, but almost aping the same stupid thing that Phil Spencer said, that like, well, we've never been better. We're doing great. It's like, we're thriving. It's like, again, I get that you're talking to shareholders here, but good Lord, that just sounds so tone deaf.
I'm sure it's really weighing heavily as he gets into his private jet, gets out to his mansion,
Yeah, he called it the enigma of success, saying that the layoffs present an opportunity for the company to shape, lead through, and have a greater impact than ever before. Yeah,
again, They're
you know,
number 2 in the world. Like,
yeah, and again, he has a point about AI and all that stuff, and that he can't just let that pass them by. They have to make sure that they're at the forefront. They can't let it happen again, where Google is the leader in search and all that other stuff. Like, I get it, but it's like, man,
I mean,
this just continues to be shitty.
you can make a use case for search. Like, people search every day.
Right.
They still get to make a good use case for AI, except for obviously shitty, like, fake models and photographs, or AI just making up total bullshit for like legal filing and crap like that. Like,
Yeah. Not sure. I mean, I see it every day. I see my dad was telling me he uses it to be able to, make a list or find, like, essentially like another option of searching. Just it gives you everything right there instead of you having to like kind of read through articles or whatever. It gives you the best version of each one of those, which sucks because then you're taking away reading from those articles that kind of need those hits and everything. So
it kind of reminds me, this happened a few days ago, but I mean, I assume you use an ad blocker with Chrome.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, but I think it's the one that Chrome already has in there because I don't.
Okay. They got rid of the good one. It was uBlock, because I started going to websites and like this Admiral bullshit kept popping up. I'm like, what's this? And then I hit up YouTube and it started like playing a lot more ads, and I'm like, what just happened?
Yeah.
And I saw that like Google itself or Chrome turned off the uBlock extension, like at its core, or from Chrome, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, did I tell you to do this? No? Then why'd you do it?
I mean, it's the reason why YouTube is the only one that I have the non-ad version. I have premium, because I can't with the. I'll go to my girlfriend's house and she has the, because I don't want to be putting my stuff on everybody's TV because then it messes up the algorithm.
Right.
And I can't stand it, bro. Trying to watch a 5-minute thing and you get like 20 ads. It's so freaking annoying.
I mean, they did it to themselves because like initially YouTube didn't have that, and then it's the same, like, and then they tried to build it in, but it's like, no, you've already conditioned your your customer base to not want, or not, I don't want to deal with this bullshit. So it's the same way. I still get emails from Photo Bucket, like, begging me, going like, oh, your account's gonna get deleted, or do your last chance to recover your files. And I'm like, dude,
you said that for 2 years, man. When are you gonna stop telling me about?
Yeah, it's like you are the ones who ruined your business, not me. So leave me alone.
But there's so many of those sites now, like you don't even need Plus, you can just use Google Drive as well. You don't even need to use a site.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's hard to again care about what Satya or all the corporates at Microsoft have to say. I mean, at least they listened about the going to $70 games. It also probably doesn't help that like they probably expected like Borderlands 4 to be $80, and they expected, at one point GTA 6 was going to come out. That was probably going to be $80. So like, even I think they might have expected EA to put the sports games at $80 too. And then so like when nobody's doing it, you're the one that looks like an idiot, and it's like, well, might as well do just like we did with Xbox Live and all the other times that we've like changed our minds or whatever and just go backwards. But that's good they did it. And hey, hopefully all the people that are going to buy these games now, you enjoy it. Hopefully Outerworlds 2 delivers on the promises that it seems to be wanting to deliver on. Obsidian's had a great track record so far, so we'll see. I'm more excited for Ninja Gaiden 4 myself, but again, glad to hear that game is also going to do well for not only Xbox, but Koei Tecmo and Team Ninja and all those people that probably want to see it do well. So,
Did you like the last one or the past two or no?
Well, 3, was bad. Until they like fixed it somewhat.
Right.
But yeah, 1 and 2 were awesome.
Okay.
I loved 1 and 2. So
I liked 1, and I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't even like 2, and then 3. Was like, eh. Except for Yaiba, that's the other good one.
yeah, the 3D, the DS.
No, Yaiba
game.
was like the zombie one.
What? But wasn't that the 3DS or DS
No,
one? Okay.
that was a console game.
Okay.
Yeah, Yaiba Ninja Gaiden. Ugh.
Right. But we'll see what happens with that. But I mean, interestingly for Xbox, a new job application that appeared on LinkedIn for a position within Sony for PlayStation mentions Xbox, which we don't really see much of, other than when they were talking about Helldivers 2 and all that.
Right.
But this new role apparently is a position that will help expand PlayStation's reach beyond PlayStation hardware, working to bring PlayStation games to platforms such as Steam, which they already do, Epic Game
Right.
Store, Nintendo, mobile, and yes, even Xbox. The new role is a senior director of multi-platform and account management and will report directly to Sony's vice president. The senior director will play a critical leadership role in shaping and executing the global commercial strategy for PlayStation Studio software titles across all digital platforms beyond PlayStation hardware. The role is accountable for optimizing title profitability, ensuring cross-functional alignment, and leading a high-performing team focused on multi-platform expansion, mid-range commercial planning, and platform partner management. That's a lot of mumbo jumbo there. As far as responsibility for the job, they will oversee the out year of mid-range commercial strategy for PlayStation Studios titles across non-PlayStation platforms, driving long-term revenue growth and audience reach. Blah blah blah. And they also directly mention multi-platform strategies and sales for Xbox and PC. So they mentioned Xbox and PC more than even Switch 2, which is interesting. Look, there's a broad ranging spectrum here of what this means. I already saw people, going and trading in their PlayStation 5 and doing all the stupid BS. Or saying that they're now a PC master race or whatever, that they're turning their back on PlayStation,
Yeah, you only got to drop $2,000 on a video card every 2 years.
Right,
no
exactly.
problem there.
But what do you think this means? Like, there's people that are obviously staunchly against this meaning anything that any of those big Sony games are going to come over, that it's just the live service stuff, and this is just them kind of like preparing people for whenever it is that Fair Games and whatever other live service thing is left also comes to Xbox? Or do you think it is like they're going to use this sort of like PC, where maybe not 1 year, but maybe like 2 years or further down, you'll start seeing some of the bigger PlayStation games come?
I don't think it'll be bigger, but you might see some of them. Like you mentioned that like Xbox has said more than Switch 2, and it's like that's not, to me, that's not surprising, because the Xbox, at least the Series X is on par with the PlayStation 5.
Right, it's easier to port to it.
Yeah, like
right.
They could. I mean, still a lot of PS5 games have PS4 counterparts, and that can kind of go to the Switch 2 easily enough. But still, there's probably more work to be done there than an Xbox One. I don't know. I see this as like their lower tier games heading to Xbox, maybe like Hot Shots Golf, or maybe even like Returnal. But you're not going to see Spider-Man on an Xbox, at least like officially. Or not going to see The Last of Us on an Xbox or Astrobot.
Yeah, that'd be really interesting if Last of Us were to show up. Like, you're like, okay, I think you can definitely just throw all that out the window.
It'd be funny if it was like unlock the Joel skin for Gears of War E-Day, you know?
Yeah. I do think that there's something to be said for hey, Daniel, good to see you. Used to be one of our main co-hosts here. He says, I think there will be a test for Sony-owned franchises to come out on Xbox, see how large the sales are, and then Sony will go from there. Yeah, obviously Helldivers 2 is that big first test, which is coming out the same day as Gears E-Day is also coming out, and then essentially Gears is coming to PlayStation. This is, of course, leading to the which seems pretty evident that, like, okay, Gears, not Gears E-Day, I'm sorry, Gears Reloaded, and then is leading to people feeling like Gears E-Day is also going to be coming to PlayStation along with State of Decay 3, which, those are presumably coming in 2026, but that's just based off of that, throwaway line that Phil said about the anniversary of Xbox, and that, you're expecting the big four to be coming. So we'll see about that if it actually happens. Daniel mentions Uncharted collection. Yeah, I could definitely see some of the older stuff. Like,
right. I'd say like any PS4 game, or but like again, like not Spider-Man or not Last of Us.
Yeah, I think that you'd have to sell. You'd have to sell, like, we're talking about essentially Xbox would have to do what PlayStation is doing with Forza right now in order to get. You want the bigger games, you got to do what PlayStation is doing with Forza with every single one of these games. If you want Spider-Man, because they're going to look at it and go, oh man, I don't think we can say no to that.
Or what you do, like if you want Uncharted on an Xbox, do what they did with like Kingdom Hearts and be like, okay, here's every Uncharted game for $70.
No, I agree, but I also think that the reason why they're mentioning Xbox more than Switch is that there's part of that audience that, like, there's some of those games that I think Nintendo will not be very big on bringing them over there. Right.
Oh, yeah.
So like some of the more violent games, I don't know if they're going to be sitting there. Maybe God of War is like too big for them to say no to.
No, man, you're gonna get Days Gone, the Switch edition, and you can grab that biker in a Mario outfit.
Yeah, but I wonder if, like, with them having that deal with Dustbloods, like, does Demon Souls, does Bloodborne get put over there on Switch? Like,
no, they didn't even put Bloodborne on fucking PC.
Right, but I'm just saying, like, we don't know how far this extends. Like, if Sony is really thinking about this, does that go to that, right? Like, okay, let's say Dustbloods does ridiculous numbers on Switch too, which, considering the numbers that we have for Night Rain and even Shadow of the Erdtree, which Elden Ring is coming to Switch, sometime this year with Shadow of the Erdtree. I expect that to do amazing numbers on Switch as well. So imagine if Dustbloods, which is exclusive, does crazy numbers. Do they bring more over there?
I would say no. I think Dustblood will do relatively okay, but like, it's still. I would say the Switch 2 is still kind of looked at as like the kiddie system, and more serious games have not done particularly well. I mean, look at like Bayonetta 3.
Yeah, I think that's sold well enough, but it's one of those where it kind of depends on.
No, it didn't. It really actually kind of didn't do well.
Well, wasn't there like some kind of well, they also had the backlash on the voice actors,
right,
for that game as well, that didn't throw in any kindness.
The game didn't run well on the Switch.
Yeah, the game didn't run well either.
And people didn't like. I know Jens didn't like the story much, and I think like with every Bayonetta game, kind of been like softening it up more and more. So
yeah, I definitely see something like Uncharted or start throwing some of the older
Jet Moto.
games in there. Yeah, Jet Moto. But yeah, if you ever see a God of War or Spider-Man, I think we can kind of put that stuff to rest of the, console
Right.
wars are definitely dead.
I mean,
at that
I would
point.
say that like Astrobot is a continuing franchise, and like they'll make a Spider-Man 3 most likely.
Right.
But I don't see a huge like future for like Uncharted. Like they kind of ended it. Or
No, definitely.
I would like. I mean, people have been begging for like a new Sly Cooper, but that kind of ended with like PS3.
Sucker Punch would have to give that out to somebody.
Right.
Same thing with like Naughty Dog and Jack and Daxter and
It's
all that.
weird how like territorial some of these developers are, and it's like you're not making this shit, or why do you? Okay, you made it initially, but you're still not making. Or you're not making it anymore. Like, so let someone else take a crack at it.
I feel like somebody's got to be making one of those because like Sony's been having this. Now I understand Astrobot is their mascot now, and like Astrobot is the platformer for them or whatever. But like they have been having this push towards like let's have more family games.
Yeah.
Right. So like it would behoove you to have more than just Astrobot. Right. Like I mean, yeah, you have Ratchet and Clank, but is
that last one wasn't particularly great.
Is Insomniac gonna really work on that now? They've got Wolverine and Spider-Man 3 that they're working on, so that's gonna be way in the back burner, But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. Does this also mean that their PC strategy moves up? Right? Does the window start getting shorter for PC in lieu of having this where it's like, okay, well now Xbox and Switch are going to be the ones where we really make them wait, right? Because it's about the console. We want to make our console be the one that is definitely the best one. You got to have it. You have all the games, even the Xbox games, now. So you're not going to get you're going to get our games eventually, but you're going to wait till, halfway through the life cycle of the next Xbox or whatever before you get any of those. And even then, I mean, like that's the interesting thing too, is like, if that's the last Xbox, does it really, matter at that point? If it really is a PC, then maybe that's why they're okay with it, because at that point, the next Xbox is going to essentially just be a PC with an Xbox sticker on it. So, is that why they don't care? Because, it's really just Windows. So we're already putting it on PC. Why not just put it on Xbox too? What's the big deal?
Microsoft should just start selling the PS5 system covers. They just said it's an Xbox.
Right. That'd be interesting if they did that. Yeah, it's I do think the people that are, on that the console war bandwagon though, like, get ready. I think you are going to go through that same kind of hurt that the Xbox fans did. Maybe not to that rip the band-aid
that's the
off
thing,
kind of point.
Like,
but I think we are going to get. We are not. There will be more than just the four. The live service games. I think we are going to get some of the single player games, and that's where you're going to start seeing people get really upset.
I mean, here's the thing. You know that Sony is working on like the PlayStation 6 somewhere.
Oh, no, they already said it. They are. Yeah.
Yeah. And I know Sarah Bond is like, oh, we're partnering with AMD to make the new, Xbox. But between the two, I have more faith in the PS6 coming out, or, than the traditional console, kind of gated garden, and then whatever Xbox is going to and AMD are going to come out with.
I just think that essentially the problem is that it's not just, it's about like they can't exist anymore with the walled gardens, especially if none of these live service games hit for Sony, like the ones they have left. aside from Helldivers 2, like if they continue to bomb, like they got to make that money somewhere, right? And games cost too much for them to continue to just be, and they don't make enough games. Like that's the point. Is like, okay, look at their lineup this year, right? It's okay. Death Stranding 2 is essentially second party, you know.
Right.
Kojima made that, not them. And then you have Ghost of Yotei, right? And then that's it. And then like, what's your lineup for next year, right? Well, I mean, a lot of unknowns, right? Like, we don't know how quickly they could spin up some of these. These studios that were working on live service games that are now having to work on whatever it is they're working on now.
You're talking about one of the problems though is they put all their money into one or two games, and if they don't do well, that's a problem. But like
exactly,
I would say have smaller projects, have more projects, and then if one or two of those goes bad, hey, it's a problem, or it's a injury, but not a vital one, or it's not going to like fold the company. Like look at like how much. I mean, think about how much they spent on Concord. Like they could have funded maybe not like 10 single player games, but at least 2 or 3.
Right.
And I'm betting at least one of them might have done well.
Yeah, that's why they, brought Deviation kind of like back and had them do a single player.
Yeah.
Or I think it's like multiplayer, but more of the traditional type, not, live service related.
Right.
I do think that somebody's probably working on a remake of Uncharted. I wouldn't be surprised somewhere, because Sony has to have like any franchise that could possibly make them some kind of money. I feel like they got to have somebody's thinking about, we got to do something with that.
Where the hell is Jumping Flash then, you cowards?
Right. But even look at Astrobot, right? Like they have essentially turned that thing almost into they keep making levels for it, instead of having like,
I question that mindset, because it's like how many new copies of that thing are you selling?
Not that many, right? Because I think they said that like Forza had already sold more than Astrobot.
So like it's funny. Did you like Burnout Paradise?
Yeah, I liked Burnout Paradise too.
I'm like one of the few who just did not like that game. Like it's never clicked with me. I've tried multiple times. And that was like their philosophy when that game came out, like the first year, is they're like, oh, we're gonna have all this, free DLC for you, and it didn't help. And I saw someone refer to Burnout Paradise as a franchise killer, and I'm like, yeah, because they didn't make a Burnout game after that.
Well, like, it's also EA bought Criterion and then kind of just
put them EA bought Criterion for Burnout 3. Like they made 3, Burnout games.
But we know EA kind of has this like, they're almost square level of didn't meet expectations, and then these games will just go away. Right. Look at Need for Speed. They can't seem to figure out how to make thing.
But like that was the thing with Burnout Paradise is EA at the time gave them a pretty good run, or like string of like, hey, if this free DLC does well and the sales continue, like go for it. And it never did. And it's like they should have just kind of cut early with the Paradise DLC and put that money into making Paradise 2 or something else. Black 2, there we go.
Yeah, it's gonna be a kind of a crazy experience here. What happens in 2026 for the between Sony and Xbox? Does Sony make that move next year of putting something on Xbox that's not a live service game, and then kind of starts that steamroll? I mean, the thing is that like people can say what they want about, I'm gonna go PC Master Race or whatever, but it's like Sony's big enough that they have such a console share, and there's some people that like, okay, you can say that, I can go to Nintendo, or I can go to PC. But it's like, okay, Nintendo, there's only so many. There's going to be games that the Switch 2 is not going to be able to run at some point. So what's going to be your option, right? And it's like, okay, well then I have to have a PlayStation. And then that's the thing. It's like the people that are making such a big fuss about this is like, look, exclusives bring people to the platform, but they're not the reason why the PlayStation continues to like go on. It's those third party games, aside from like Spider-Man and maybe Last of Us or whatever. It really is like the Call of Duty, the Madden, the EA FC, all NBA 2K, those games. Those are what bring the people in to keep buying those games every year, and that keeps them using the console, right? It's not, buying even Death Stranding 2, for example, which did well, but it's still a very niche of a niche thing,
right?
And they're definitely not buying, Returnal or whatever, whatever Sorrows is when that comes out. I'm sure that will do well, but it's not going to do crazy numbers.
The people like trading in their PS5 for a PC are like bananas, because it's like, okay, you're 1/6 of the way there to getting a new PC, I guess. And hey, the PC has 10,000 more games on it, if not way more, if you want to get into like the shadier shit. But how much of that are you going to play? No.
Right. If you're already not playing indies on your PlayStation, why you're going to play that on your PC? No, you're not.
Right.
And you're going to quickly get to the point where you can't play the big third-party games. So what are you going to do at that point?
Yeah.
That's how people keep their laptop or their system going, is they end up playing a lot of the indie stuff or whatever. Once their system can't get unless they have to upgrade it, then they can play it again. So that's but moving on from this topic, Sony has more stuff that's kind of happened as we got closer to doing the episode today. Sony has something that we thought would happen a lot sooner, like when they announced this game, The Light of Motrium, Tencent. Sony would quickly be going out there and telling them, yo, cease and desist. This ain't happening.
Right.
But no, it took them a while, but they did. They have officially put it out in court. Also, that those court documents have allowed us to learn that the Horizon series as a whole has sold 38 million copies, which is a big number. They sold 32 just 2 years ago.
That's when that VR
6
game
million
came out, right?
more. Now you see why Herman Hulse has got the whole bank, the whole farm on that MMO and the multiplayer game, because that's some large numbers for that to sell. Yeah, so they're hoping that that's gonna lead to those games doing well. But honestly, when we saw, like, let me see if I can pull up the trailer. Like, the game is a total. Sony has every right to go after them. Like, the game is a total ripoff of Horizon. Right. It's absolutely deplorable that they even thought that this was cool to do. Like, I get it that part of it is they kind of thought that, Sony kind of told them no when they wanted to do an official, like, hey, can we partner on a Horizon game? And they said no. And Sony said no.
Right.
So Tencent was like, oh, you said no, huh? Well, then we're just going to go and make our own damn Horizon, but we're just going to copy the shit out of it.
Right.
And it's insane, man. Like, even
Chinese
the main character kind of looks like her, like Aloy.
A Chinese company not obeying copyright laws and patents, that's just crazy talk.
Yeah, they're Sony's suing for damages. and they want to be able to stop the game from being able to be released because it
Yeah, I
goes
don't
against their
fault them.
intellectual
Yeah.
property rights. Yeah, it's just insane. Like when we saw this, I said, I don't know how Sony's not suing them right now
Right.
because it's just
I mean,
crazy.
they're probably waiting and seeing if like anything actually did change, and no, it didn't. So
yeah, and it got a lot of buzz. Like people had pre-orders for it and whatnot. So I imagine this will quell that pretty quickly. I wonder if Tencent's gonna actually try to fight them, like Power World's doing with Nintendo, where they're gonna kind of.
I mean, at least like Pal World has like a different spin on it. It's not just wholesale ripping off like Pikachu.
Yeah, and I mean, okay, you could say that the character designs are kind of similar, but the game as a concept is much different. And dude, they did it so well. They added stuff that people wish Nintendo would have done with Pokemon.
I mean, that's like the same thing with like Pokemon and the old Jade Cocoon game. Like,
right?
Yeah, they're both games about capturing monsters and battling, but like Jade Cocoon, you could breed them, which I think Pokemon eventually did, but like way later
Yeah,
on,
they did.
Mm-hmm. Or you could like basically like sell the monster to get money, which I doubt you can do in Pokemon.
Yeah, so at one point Tencent had approached them to collaborate on a New Horizon game last year, and the offer was rejected. So then Tencent announced Light of Motrium.
We're just gonna do it anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Which borrows heavily from all the things in Horizon, from the story to the artistic elements to the you can clearly see in the trailer that there's like the robot
right.
Animals are in it. Like, I mean, it's all essentially a copy.
I'm surprised they don't call him the
Horizon.
same name like Ripjaw or whatever the hell, some of the stupid names.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty bad, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't see any way in how Sony doesn't win this, and then this game just.
I think some games, like game concepts, shouldn't really be copyrighted per se. Like, I'm not gonna copyright like a racing game or first person shooter, but something to this like direct and this like obvious, it's like
and it's not even being done in like a funny haha like satire way. This was like legitimately just we wanted to make our own Horizon, so whatever.
Right.
And it's like done in spite of. So if I were Sony, definitely freaking go after him. Gonna see how quickly this goes through the courts and all that jazz. But we talked about God of War earlier. They did have they interviewed the kind of the showrunner or the creative director. He kind of gave a little bit of some thoughts on like what he's doing to kind of prepare for the game or prepare for like making the show. And he did reveal that it is going to be based off of the 2018 show. It's not going to copy it directly, but they are going to try to keep a lot of the same themes and characters.
Yeah,
and stuff like
the Norse mythology, not the Greek one.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's the thing: I'm sure they'll have some flashback to some, Greek crap in the show at some point.
Definitely, and also the Corey Barlog's involved, so for sure he's going to probably put some of that
right
in there, which is cool. Like, look, it's every time we've seen these shows be done well is when the original creators are involved, like we saw with Neil Druckmann in Last of Us. So
that's season 1, not season 2.
Well, I think that's more of like did Druckmann really have anything to do with the casting of Bella Ramsey, or was that all,
Well, yeah,
prep?
that was season 1 still. I mean,
Well, but I'm just saying, like, was that more HBO and the director, or was that really had a lot to do with Neil Druckmann saying, "Okay, I need Bella Ramsey to be Ellie"? Because
yeah.
that was the main problem I think a lot of people had was, and I even saw some of the biggest supporters of the show was saying that like season 2 is where it kind of showed that she just didn't fit the part, right?
Yeah.
So I haven't watched it yet, so I can't really make a case for
I
myself.
mean, hey, by the time season 4 comes out in like 6 years, she'll be old enough, so it won't matter.
You think so? You think there's? I don't. I think they're just gonna do that second part of 2, and
Well,
that's
yeah,
it.
but like, I
Yeah.
think Craig Mason was like, "Oh, we need 4 seasons to tell the full tale or whatever." It's like, no, you don't.
Oh, okay. Yeah, definitely
It's like,
not.
yeah, like they basically said like season 3 is all from the
Abby's
other
perspective.
perspective, and then yeah, season 4 is supposed to kind of like marry the two or bring them together. But it's like, no, you don't. You're good.
Yeah, like let's leave that part out, right? So, we'll see if they get there. Knowing HBO, they probably will, just because I'm sure it
Right.
will do well enough to where they'll
I don't know.
probably keep it
Like
going. But
the season 1 to season 2 drop off was like noticeable, like ratings wise. So
they did say that he did state that there's probably definitely going to be 2 seasons.
yeah.
Um, with like 10 episodes in season 1, and that's kind of all he could say. He didn't want to like promise like kind of like Fallout where they have it mapped out for like season 6 or whatever.
Yeah.
We'll see if it gets that far, but hope so. I mean, it kind of shows if you can do this right, then it will do like most other TV shows where it will last. I'm a little bit worried that you have the Halo TV show guy also involved in here, but hopefully that means
What are you talking about, man? That was great.
No, it was not. Let's not. The least we got to talk about that Halo TV show.
They'll just start like, introducing like, random shit to the God of War TV show that has like nothing to do with it.
Right. But hey, they also announced their they'd already announced this thing, the fight stick, but it officially has a name now. It's called the Flex Strike. And they had it's going to debut at Evo. August 1st to the 3rd, and they had a whole trailer that came out kind of showcasing what you can do with it. You can use it corded with the USB, or you can use it wireless, which is cool. And they have it like all packed. They have a carrying case, and you can also like pack the cords and stuff like inside it, so that you could take that all with you,
Right.
which is neat. Yeah, I don't know. You play fighting games way more than me, so
Yeah, but I don't like fight sticks. I'm used to a controller, so I'm bad with arcade sticks, honestly.
Oh, okay.
Like one time, this was like many years ago, but I was like at an arcade playing Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and like I was going through the story kind of okay, but like this kid, not kid, but he was like 20 or 21 or something. He came up and like played me, and he dusted me because it's like, yeah, I don't use arcade sticks, so it ain't that surprising.
Yeah. But it's
But
cool that
hey,
this exists, and
yeah, for people who like
yeah.
them, looks decently made, so sure.
Yeah, I'm sure this will be a hit with the FGC crowd.
Right.
So let's see. If Sony can have this become an accessory that really sells. I mean, that's one thing that Sony does well. They sell those accessories, and people buy those DualSense controllers and other things, the covers and stuff like that. So,
Right.
but Sony also did the thing that they did also with Katakawa and FromSoft. They acquired a percentage of a Japanese company, 2.5% of Bandai Namco, which they have been working with Bandai Namco to get those Freedom Wars remastered and the Patapon remaster and those kind of out the door. Kind of like working as a middleman so they can get those on Switch 2 and Switch. And, I don't know if they'll come to Xbox eventually now that they seem to be kind of opening that door. But, this is just like another publisher that they kind of have that percentage of. They also have 5% of Devolver Digital, almost 5% of Epic. And they have that highest percentage of From Software. So
I think it's I wouldn't say better, but I actually do think it's better, I guess, solution than like what Microsoft is doing, is just buying companies outright and then closing them down.
I agree with that. It'd be nice if, we could see Microsoft do something like that instead of just buying them and then.
Like, I think like Sony's solution is like slower, but it's, if Bandai Namco suddenly failed, like it's not like that's the end of the Sony's world or anything. Like,
but I think also it's Sony doesn't want to deal with all that stuff. Sony just kind of wants a piece. They want like to have kind of more control over certain aspects, but they don't want to deal with like, imagine all the stuff that Bandai Namco has to deal with outside of just games, right? Like they want all the connections, they want all the help with like, especially with the anime, right? Because this is another play for the continuing domination that they have with anime. To be fair, like this is not just about gaming. This is about, not only is this the From Software publisher, the Elden Ring publisher, this is also like, okay, they have all those other rights to like all these anime properties. So Digimon, DBZ, My Hero, all the all these big name properties. Like, I don't know how this really, to what extent this all helps with that, but they keep wanting to make inroads even further with the anime stuff. So
I mean, they're basically becoming like, they're kind of like Tencent, or becoming like landlords, I guess, of like some of these companies where like, like we don't own it, but we get our money every month because of stock dividends or whatever profits you guys make.
Diversifying the portfolio, right?
Yeah.
Like just making sure you get some income somewhere else. It's not just all about gaming, which is smart, right? Like they're doing the thing with the movie. They have the Sony Pictures that they've had up for a very long time. They have the all the anime stuff. They essentially like have a domination stranglehold on streaming. Netflix is kind of like poking the bear with that and kind of trying to make their own kind of inroads there. Also because Netflix knows that they kind of like went way too far in the other direction with the TV shows and the movies. So like anime kind of is the sweet spot, that it like doesn't cost them a lot, but they're also like actually pushing more people to watch anime, which is, plus for the whole industry. So there was a report, I think like a week or two ago, that came out that said Netflix is making a positive impact on more people are watching anime because of Netflix. So,
well, I mean, people like a normal person isn't going to sign up for Crunchyroll, but
or they know that that's like, exactly. Like, why pay $8 a month for the one show when you could just watch it on Netflix?
They'll sign up for Netflix and watch more casual anime, and then that might eventually spark serious anime,
Yeah. But see, Netflix has been smart recently. They've been getting like really good series outright, or they've been getting like dual streaming where it's not just Crunchyroll. They're doing it with like a Don. They have Crunchyroll gets the streaming also, but they also get it. So it's like you don't have to leave Netflix to watch that show. So another reason why you don't have to subscribe to Crunchyroll, and that's positive. But it's good. Like Sony needs that competition, because if Crunchyroll just owned everything,
Right.
It'd be kind of just, just blase, because High Dive is very niche, and credit to them for continuing to exist, and do their own thing. But you need that big player like Netflix to be involved.
I told a friend, she's a huge Case Closed fan, and I told her like, oh,
Yeah.
Netflix is bringing Case Closed back, like they did, like they're doing like a new dub of it and everything, and she's just like, why? And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, why can't you just get the the old show back, or the old dub? And I was like, first of all, they probably don't have the rights to it,
Yeah,
and also like they want to make more, or this like
exactly.
with a new dub, they have new voice actors who are actually like working, so they have the capacity to do more episodes, not just like the five.
And that was another thing too, is that Netflix will, which is bad. It's not great. Netflix will hold off on shows if they don't have the dub.
Right.
Which makes it to where like there's one that's coming out this season that like they're holding off till like September because they want to make sure the dub is there, but they also have the data that shows that like 90% of the people that watch on Netflix are watching dubbed.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I would say it makes sense actually. Like, I mean, there are like the diehard fans who would watch like Dragon Ball Daima with like fan subs or whatever, but like most people, at least casual people, just watch it on Crunchyroll with the dub and be like, all right.
It makes it a lot easier. I don't have to sit there and stare at every single word that's being, like I watch a lot of things with subtitles because of just, sometimes the audio quality on streaming services sucks. Right. So a lot of times, like I don't have to do the whole putting the volume up, putting the volume down, putting the volume up, putting the volume down. I just put the subtitles on and just like, okay, if I didn't hear that, at least I know what they said.
Right.
But like when it comes to like with anime, yeah, I do love watching the current seasons, and you have to watch them in Japanese, and that's fine. But it's like it does get tiring after a while, and I do kind of want to be able to like, okay, I can listen and kind of watch, and then I can work or do whatever I need to do, and not have to be staring at the screen the whole time. But moving on from that, speaking of Bandai Namco though, and FromSoft, Elden Ring Night Rain is getting that 2-player mode, Mark. So does that mean that y'all are going to play it now?
No, I suggested that to Jens, but that's when he popped up with, I want to play, Earth Defense Force 6, because he plays with like another friend of his.
Yeah.
And I'm like, good luck with that then. Like,
it's coming in a couple days. This is a mode that was not available at launch, but they put it in because people requested it. Would have probably helped you guys maybe perhaps play it at launch.
Right.
And the game has done surprisingly well. It sold 2 million on the first day and has sold 5 million currently, as far as the last data that we have from June. And then Shadow of the Earth, the expansion, has sold 10 million. And Elden Ring itself has sold like 30 million, which is ridiculous. So definitely, that's a franchise. They got to be cooking Elden Ring 2 somewhere. I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, who knows? Like,
well, the way at the rate that they're going with these like multiplayer things, if Dustbloods does anything close to Night Rain, I mean, shoot, talk about like Bandai Namco having their own like multiplayer gold mine here with this.
Right.
So, I mean, that's pretty amazing. Like they probably just kind of threw that out there and they said, okay, well, let's see if this works out. And hey, it did.
Right. And it's not like a whole new necessary game, or it's
right.
Not like we're using assets per se, but
they are kind of reusing assets also.
Well, not wholly, at least, yeah.
But I mean, that's what helps them be able to make these quickly. Is they're kind of doing the Sega Yakuza thing of, hey, we can reuse assets. Why not?
Right.
We don't have to take 5 years to make one of these all the time. By then, nobody's gonna maybe don't care about Elden Ring.
Right.
But we Switch 2 is doing well without Dustbloods for the time being. They sold 1.6 million just in the US alone in that, launch month. Mario Kart World without the bundle and without digital sales is number 3 for the month. So imagine if they counted digital sales and the bundle, it's definitely number 1.
Yeah.
No doubt. But Elden Ring Night Rain was the best-selling game of June. It was already the best-selling game of May. And then Death Stranding 2 is right there in second. And yeah, I mean, some interesting stuff from this data here with the games that are top. Stellar Blade went from being 185 to number 5 thanks to the PC release, and
Right. Yeah. It's
those
that ain't
PC
surprising.
players definitely wanted to get them some Stellar Blade and Eve there for sure. But hey, they showed up. They bought the game, so that's what matters. Forza Horizon 5 is still hanging in there at number 6.
Right.
Grand Theft Auto 5 and Minecraft just keep doing their thing. Just 7 and 8 respectively. Room Factory Guardians of Azuma. That's the launch game that launched with Switch 2. The third-party launch game, I'm sorry, that launched with it at number 10. That's pretty great considering how much of a niche game that is. Cyberpunk 2077 went from 427 to 18th because of Switch 2. So yeah. And WWE 2K25, which is now making its debut on Switch 2, sitting there at number 20.
Right.
Of all things. And Elden Ring is sitting there at number 13, and that game is old. So
yeah,
keep
only a few years
showing.
old. No biggie.
Yeah, Elden Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered did drop a bunch to 16, but it's been up there for 2 months already. So eventually it was going to drop. It's a single player heavy game. It is still number 2 for the entire year, with Assassin's Creed Shadows at number 3 there. MLB The Show's in the top 5. Kingdom Come Deliverance still hanging in there at number 6. Night Rain is officially number 8 now after the 2 months it's been there. Forza Horizon 5 still in there in the kind of upper 10s. So yeah, and Spider-Man 2 still hanging in there at number 20. Also, people are just buying those old games, man.
Yeah, that Oblivion remaster did so well they just had to lay off 300 people.
To be fair, like we talked about last week, most of the people that were laid off had nothing to do with that team. So
Right.
I wonder if it did affect some of the ones for Metal Gear Solid Delta because they let go of 70 there in Asia. So
Right.
but I guess we'll find out after that game releases, which is it's releasing in a month from now. Are you gonna get that?
I might get it, yeah. But I was never a huge Metal Gear Solid 3 fan. But if they actually did fix it, I might give it a shot.
Yeah, why not?
I think I
you also
in my lap.
You also got more interesting just sales stuff from the digital side for things for June 2025. According to Newzoo, taking eShop data from various countries, including the US and parts of Europe, Cat is upset.
Yeah,
Cat
he always
is mad.
is.
Deltarune was actually the number 1 selling game in the entirety of the eShop for June. Mario Kart was number 2. So that's interesting. Deltarune. I mean, obviously Deltarune much cheaper.
Right.
By a large margin, $24 instead of $80. So that helps on that front. Also, Welcome Tour being $10, I'm sure helps.
Yeah.
Then Minecraft and No Man's Sky. So, yeah, and then you got the Fantasy Life I did pretty well too. So that also kind of launched with the system. So, yeah, pretty interesting stuff on that. The sales front, always cool to kind of look at that data and just see what that's looks like. However, the Pokemon Presents, which happened the day after we did the episode last week, not that great honestly. I was expecting more, or at least more information about Pokemon ZA, and we just got, there's a Mega Dragonite now, and like roaming Mega Pokemon, and then that's kind of it. Yeah, I thought we were gonna get more on the Pokemon ZA front. We did get more on Pokemon Champions. It's gonna come out next year supposedly. They introduced like 3 different types of battling that can happen, and the way you get the Pokemon to join your team, how that all works. They introduced the animated show with starring Surfetched and Pichu. That's made by the Wallace and Gromit studio, which looked pretty awesome. And Pokemon Friends, which is free on mobile and $10 on the Switch 2 or Switch. And they also have DLC, which costs more than the actual game. So,
Yep.
and Nintendo, and people say that Nintendo is always friendly with that kind of stuff. They're not, folks. This is essentially Brain Age with Pokemon, and it works well. It's
not
fun.
This iteration of Nintendo, let's say that.
If you want to spend the $10 to play it on Switch, go ahead. I do think it's like, I've liked Brain Age a lot. I played that thing every day when I had it. So I probably will do the same with Pokemon Friends. I like the puzzle aspect of stuff, and plus you get plushes.
I'll only play that game when Matt LeBlanc shows up.
Sure. Also, some third-party Switch news. Assassin's Creed Shadows has got rated for Switch 2. So pretty much that's coming probably at some point.
Yep.
We know Star Wars Outlaws is coming to Switch 2 as well, but they canceled Star Wars Outlaws 2.
Yep.
Pretty early in development for that. You think they should have waited longer, or that was a good? That was
the right call. I played that game, and by the end of it, I'm like, I don't need to see more of this. Not unless they completely redo everything, which they probably weren't going to do. It's probably just going to be more adventurous with, the girl and the dog alien thing or whatever. So
right,
I'm good.
Are you excited for the Assassin's Creed Shadows DLC?
If Shadows was working correctly on PC, I might be at the moment. So any game nowadays, it has weekly quests you can do for free currency or
Mm-hmm.
And last time we did it, it didn't actually work. And I'm like, well, that's cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be released on September 16th.
I think that was that's the DLC that everyone's getting for free anyway, because Shadows kept getting delayed, so we're gonna give you one for free.
Yeah, the first expansion clause of Awadjali or something. Has a new region, bosses, gear, all that stuff. It's gonna be around 10 hours.
You know what I would actually like is a continuation of the present day storyline.
You keep wishing that. Unfortunately, looks like that's not.
If only it was if it wasn't the crux of the entire goddamn franchise.
They are releasing New Game Plus. It'll be pretty much out as soon as you're watching or listening to this. So, does that tempt you to go back and do anything?
That game was already a cakewalk. I can't imagine going through it again with all the skills unlocked. It's I could sleep my way through that game. So,
fair enough. Yeah, and then we have to get into some not so great news. So we talked last week about how Steam, due to pressure from payment providers Visa, MasterCard, all that, had taken off a lot of the kind of NSFW games, the sexually kind of charged games. And now itch.io has actually gone a step further and just removed them all from they've hidden them from being able to be purchased on the store. Like basically they just don't exist to anybody that's like surfing the store. This a lot of people are obviously with understandably crying for censorship on this. Especially because it's like the equivalent of like Mothers Against Drunk Driving or whatever, the ones that are kind of pushing for this kind of thing.
Right.
They're pushing the payment providers to kind of like go after it and try to get this stuff taken off the stores. Also you got like, it's just the UK, right? Not the EU that's doing that age verification thing for various sites that even includes gaming sites where you have to verify your age in order to even access it. So this isn't like just, understandably, they're trying to prevent them. It's kind of like the one in the United States where they're trying to prevent you from accessing, porn and all that stuff. But this also kind of goes into like also preventing them from accessing gambling and other things, I guess.
Right.
They're also there's people trying to fight and get the law repealed. We'll see about that. But what do you think about this? Do you think that, like, let's say, is Epic going to be next? Like, what do you, does Epic even have any of that on their store?
I don't think Epic does because no one cares.
Yeah.
Two funny things. It's like, first of all, the age thing in the UK is kind of funny because like they're lowering their voting age to 16.
Right.
And it's like, okay, it's enough. You can vote at 16, but you can't watch porn until 18. It's like, what?
Well, and then I mean, other countries around them, you're an adult at like 15. So it's like, okay.
And like the itch.io thing is kind of it's almost like a photo bucket thing of like them treating themselves like way in the foot, because like the people complaining about this aren't on itch anyway. Like practically no one is really, but like
like itch is like very like developer focused. Like that's very much like,
but they're also like incredibly niche and small. Like when Steam started doing this, it should have taken the other tack and go like, hey, if you want your porn games, come over here.
Right, but I mean, that's the thing though, is like it's the same thing of like why it happened to Steam is if payment providers are going to make it a problem for you to buy any game on Steam or itch, then that's going to cut their bottom line. It sucks, like,
I agree with what dude who made Nier Automata, not Suda, I forget his name. What he said, like, this is like censorship, or it is. Yeah, because like what I talked to you about, Yoko Taro, but it's like violent games are next.
Yeah, it seems like that's the ploy is that where does this extend?
Or all video games, because there's certainly people who think like all video games are like the devil and shit like that. So
oh no, I mean, yeah, there's people, and especially that you have the data that like people are just saying, oh, people are just wasting their life away, and like yo, I mean, here's the problem with that, is just like you really can't say that anymore because now you have phones that are doing that even worse.
Right.
TikTok is frying people, kids' brains even further than video games ever did. Yeah. So you could say that culture already kind of predisposed you to that, but yo, man, like the dopamine hit you get from watching a video on TikTok or Instagram or whatever is, I don't think that doesn't even compare to a video game, because it's like there's so many video games where like it takes a while to get to that loop that's enjoyable, right? Whereas like if the videos are not hitting, you just go to the next one. Right. So it's just, it doesn't work in the same way. I do think that like that they are trying to get to the point where, okay, well, we got the sex games out of here. Let's get the big violent games out of here too.
Yeah.
And then, oh, but so what makes Doom different than, Postal at that point or whatever? And like, where do you draw the line?
It'll still be fun. Imagine if
Yeah.
like Visa was like, okay, you can't buy GTA 6 because
Yeah,
people
imagine.
complain. You know,
Oh God, the pitchforks that would be out for that
right?
would just be. I think that would probably cause the government to have to step in and be like, we're gonna have to get some kind of regulation here now if
Yeah.
GTA 6 got blocked. So if you wanna see things go the other way,
That's actually what like Rockstar should do is go like whatever payment like Visa or MasterCard or whatever. Like if you're blocking sex games, you can't buy our game until that is restored.
yeah,
And then instantly it will get restored.
right, exactly. It's like, oh wait, in a totally change of direction,
Yeah.
they put those all back on the store again.
Right.
It's speaking of things that somewhat surprise you. After all the stuff with the Subnautica 2 devs last week and the week before that, Krafton is here buying another studio. This time they're acquiring the Last Epoch studio, 11th Hour Games. They're owning 100% of the studio. It's kind of one of those things like, okay, I'm happy for you to get your money, but does it mean you guys are also going to run into the same problem that the...
Well, it's like take the money and run, like
yeah. I mean, it does give them an ARPG, which they don't have, so it's
right.
smart from that side of things. Last Epoch is very well liked, for the most part. So
it was, but didn't it really like fall off after?
It did, especially after what is
Last
it? Not
Exile or whatever.
Last Exile 2.
Yeah,
came out. So yeah, that probably kind of ate its lunch there, and they carded him for a cool 96 million. Yeah, and of course that's nothing for Krafton, I'm sure.
Right.
But yeah, it's just like I really hope we don't hear bad news quickly after this. Like don't want to hear about somebody getting laid off because you had to acquire them and then start removing some of the pieces that you don't need because now they're just gonna go in support for the game and all that.
Right.
Speaking of going indie tech land, which they do the Dying Light series. They have that the Beast, which they spun off from being a DLC for Dying Light 2. That's been delayed a few times. It is going to be delayed almost a month to September 19th now. They want to get some extra polishing work on it and all that stuff. Totally cool with that. Just the problem is that now you're coming into like the fall season and you have a lesser chance of people playing your game. So,
but it's also a zombie game, so I mean, people like horror games, especially around like October or.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll pick up some steam there for that. But
and hey, it ain't like that. We talked about State of Decay 3 is coming out anytime soon. So
yeah, it's not. So it turns out, Mark, that Final Fantasy Tactics is actually a remake, the remaster, because they had to make the whole game again because they overwrote the original source code, which that's not new for them. They did that with Final Fantasy 8.
Right, yeah.
When they did the remaster for that too. So
they didn't. Well, I mean, I don't think a lot of companies thought about it at the time, and it's like, hey, we have this hard drive here that has Tactics on it, but hey, the game's out, and then gold pressing or whatever. So let's let's format this and put in Final Fantasy 9 or whatever.
Yeah, like I think with like the Kingdom Hearts collection, they had to do the same thing. They had to get like a retail copy of Kingdom Hearts 1 and like take
Right.
assets out of it to be able to make that again for like the remasters.
Right.
So,
which you
yeah.
think that like it's kind of a weird question because like you'd think, would it be cheaper for them instead of doing this to hire some like PlayStation hackers out there or whatever and just like reverse engineer the game?
Right.
Like maybe it wouldn't be, but I mean I would think it might be cheaper though. Like, you know, hire Modern Vintage Gamer or whatever, or you know, a team of him and other like-minded folks to just crack the game open and get it out. But I don't think it's like the assets or like, you know, the actual game is in that type of state for that. But who knows?
Right.
I mean, I had never played Tactics. I imagine you played it and love it, and
Yes.
it's very well regarded, but something that passed me by completely. I played like the demo once, and that's about it.
Yeah, I can't wait for that remaster. It's gonna play the crap out of that thing.
Yeah, my buddy of mine like ordered the special edition, you know, the $250 thing.
I wish I had that to just be able to spend on it. I'd think about it just because I love that game that much. But
Speaking of that, not local, it's about an hour away, but a used game store has a mostly complete in-box copy of Earthbound.
Oh, nice.
It's missing one of the scratch and sniff stickers, or not stickers, but like cards in like the instruction manual.
Yeah.
Guess how much?
500.
That's good. That's a good joke. If it was 500, I'll be getting it. $2,000.
Jeez. Wow.
To be fair, I mean, I think it is complete except for like that one card, and it is a very nice commission box. But
yeah,
if it was 500, I'd be driving out there tomorrow. Be like, oh, let's do this, you know?
Right? No, but it's interesting. Like I love seeing this kind of thing of like how they do this. It'd be cool if Square Enix came out with like a making of this kind of thing, that the way they did for like Rebirth and Sandfall did with Clair Obscur. They came out with some cool like featurettes. It'd be cool if they did that for Tactics here.
Right.
Just to see like what they had to go through to do this. But yeah, I mean that kind of makes sense now why like they didn't get to like remake it, right? Like they kind of they had to spend so much time making the original version of the game again that
they have to keep it within like the old realm. It's not like the Final Fantasy VII remake that people were like maybe not expecting but hoping for. It's like that's not going to happen with this at all. Like,
I hope that they eventually get to, bring the Game Boy Advance games to other platforms.
Wasn't there a PSP one also?
Well, that's just the War of the Lions. Like, it's like a remastered, better version of the original, which they did add some of that stuff.
Right.
But it's going to be added like later. I think it's not all in here.
I mean, the one thing I know about Tactics is like there's a very arcane way to get like cloud in the game.
Yes, there is.
And that's what they should do for like 50 more times, is just start selling DLC characters.
I would not put it past them at all. I will not put it past them that they will somehow find a way to like start adding characters to this and like make it like another, what is that game that the fighting game or whatever, the
not Air Guys, you're not Disgaea, Dissidia.
Dissidia, yeah, where they just added characters all the time.
Now, my joke was like you can like buy Laharo from Disgaea,
Yeah.
unlike the Prinny,
Right. Yeah. Just do all that. Hey, speaking of doing combos, that Final Fantasy crossed Magic the Gathering set. It is the highest selling set ever for Magic, even more than the Lord of the Rings one. By a heck of a lot. Obviously, what sucks is that now you want to buy that secondhand, you're going to be paying $1,000, like card shows for that.
Right.
Which sucks for me. Because I thought about it, I was like, you know what am I going to do with this? I'm just...
Yeah, you don't play Magic.
I don't play Magic. Like, what am I going to... Just to have it,
That's the thing, is like all these people are fucking buying this thing. And it's like, you don't play Magic.
Yeah,
like,
but I mean...
If you just want like a cool collectible, buy a cool collectible,
But it is a cool collectible. Like, you're not going to be able to have... They're not going to make infinite...
Well, buy a more like bespoke collectible then.
Yeah.
Or, buy something more unique. Like...
So you're not going to buy the Assassin's Creed one?
They already did it. I mean, that's what I hate about Magic at this point.
Yeah.
It's basically like the Funko Pop of collectible card games.
Yeah.
They have Ghostbusters and Monty Python and
they had Fallout.
Yeah.
They're going to do Spider-Man.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, Magic is dead. Like,
well, I mean, I don't know. Like, they have that digital version of it now where you can like learn how to play, and then you start.
The problem with Magic, at least, like, aside from like all this, like guest franchise nonsense, is like I've looked at a lot of the Final Fantasy cards. They're all like very rule set dependent, or like not character, but like to like actually do well against the Final Fantasy deck, you need a Final Fantasy deck because the cards are so like massively overpowered. It's like, yeah, no, like I think I looked at like the Ject card from Final Fantasy X. And like it was kind of like a low power. It was like I think like a 3/2 creature, which is kind of weak. But it's like, oh, if you do damage against another creature, you gain control of it. Like, okay, that's cool. I guess like imagine if you're trying to like face off against that. Like it's like very hard.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like they're creating like their own little like pocket universes, or like kingdoms for these rule sets, because like, yeah, you can't, like, if you're just like playing Magic normally, you have like no way to defend against it unless you like specifically build a deck that way, which is expensive and time consuming. But yeah, like this selling $200 million, no shit.
Yeah. So
and it's like, I bet Square is really kicking themselves in the ass now for not trying to make Triple Triad a real thing.
Yeah, I mean, they have that voice of the cards thing that they tried to make
right
a thing for a while, and that
I have like a weird. I have like, this was like retro, not retro. I bought it like at the time it was new, but like I have like a weird Final Fantasy VIII deck, like themed deck of cards.
Really?
It's like all just like shots from the game. Like some are like FMV, some are just like character like portraits and shit like that. But that's more interesting to me than like Magic the Gathering at this point.
Yeah. All right, let's get through these last couple of not great news stories. One of them is Splitgate 2 is essentially unlaunching, and 1047 Games is having to lay off people.
I guess they didn't make FPS great enough, huh?
No, they definitely did not. That stunt that he did at the what was it?
Game Over.
SGF,
Game Fest.
SGF wasn't didn't really help them much. They also like took down the first Splitgate because they had like 20 people, I think, playing that thing, and it was just costing them money constantly
Where's
to
all the
keep that up.
people who are bitching about Anthem crying about this thing now?
Yeah. And he said that they launched too early. We had ambitious goals for Splitgate 2. We bit off more than we could chew. We rushed certain features, made some boneheaded mistakes, and most importantly, we didn't give you the polished portal-filled mayhem you fell in love with. The game is going back in a beta, and the team is going heads down until 2026.
I'm not going to say that this is a lost cause, because there are certainly games, Final Fantasy 14 being the obvious example, that
right, and people like this game, you know.
Right, bad launches, and they go back to the drawing board, but it's so rare that it almost never happens well. I wish them luck, and
there's definitely going to be people that are not going to come back,
right?
For sure. After that, so, and then at least I gave them severance and job placement support and all that stuff, but it still sucks.
Yeah.
To see this same thing, Supermassive delayed Directive 8020, which is the kind of like narrative focused, like space game.
Yeah.
The next in the what are they that anthology?
Yeah, it's not Dark Pictures, I think.
Yeah, the Dark Pictures. It's now going to launch in the first half of 2026, and they had to lay off around 36 employees as well, which that sucks.
Yeah.
They're promising to support them, but just they did say that there's no impact on the Little Nightmares 3 team, which that's good, but still, just that sucks.
Right.
To see. Yeah, just rather unfortunate. Hopefully, everybody can find jobs quickly and all that jazz. So, I'm gonna go ahead and do the games that are launching this week, and then we can kind of get into some movie talk here to end the show.
Sure.
So this is that last month in July, and we're gonna get into August now, which is, man, this year has just flown by. I feel like it just constantly feels like we're heading into a new month all the time. It felt like it took forever to get to we were all waiting for that April 2nd thing for Switch 2, and then after that, it's like just boom, the rest of the year just happened. We're almost getting into the fall season where everybody's going to try to jam their game into releasing in like a 2-month period, and everybody's going to try to see if what they can play and whatnot. But there is some interesting things coming out. You got Fumes, which is like an indie version of Twisted Metal.
Yeah.
Also, Twisted Metal, the second season of the TV show comes out this week. As well, you got.
I may watch that. We'll see.
I'm gonna try to watch it. As well, Nidana, which is this kind of like cool indie, like first person, like dream simulator game on the 28th. Also, Grounded 2 comes out or will be out by the time you're listening to this. Hope that game keeps doing well. The first one did way better than I think anyone expected over there at Obsidian. Mata Monogatari, Fia and the Wondrous Kingdom. That's also out on the 29th. That's out on everything. The Tales of the Shire, the Lord of the Rings, cozy game, is out also on everything essentially. Dead Take, which is like another one of those games that's kind of like can't think of it right now. The one with the lady that had like all those actors in it. Oh my god, Immortality. Okay. Yeah. It's kind of like that, like the found footage thing that has Ben Starr in it.
Oh, so
Other
it's up your alley.
yeah, it has some other cool actors in it as well. So definitely worth checking out for sure. Dear Me, I Was another one of those like visual novel games that comes out. It's going to be on Switch too. I'm sure that will kind of like do decently. Yeah, and then we're kind of going into a Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, which I'm excited about. That's only a few days away. So
That's the 2D one, right?
that's the 2D one, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, that looks all sorts of awesome. So I'm ready to let's see how much further I can get into Donkey Kong, and then we'll definitely take some time to play that for sure. Yeah, man, and we'll be in another month of gaming here.
Right.
With some heavy hitters hitting this next month too. So, but all right, what did you think? No spoilers. What did you think of Fantastic Four? The first steps.
It's good. I mean, it's like a simpler movie than like Superman, but that's not like necessarily a bad thing because Superman is a little, bloated, I guess. It was really funny. Yen saw the movie also. All he cared about was the soundtrack, of course.
Oh god.
But like, he didn't like the concept of Galactus, or like what his goal was or motivation was. I'm like, he wants to eat the planet. Like, what?
Yeah. What else do you want him to do?
Or you wanted like the backstory for Galactus, and I'm like, what? Like, they literally tell you he's like from before the universe, or so. But yeah, good cast. Like, the only weird thing to me, kind of, I mean, like, they didn't show a ton of like Reed Richards' powers, except for like at the very end.
Yeah.
But everything else was good. Vanessa Kirby was probably the standout. And it almost feels like some of the movie. Well, I mean, it did get kind of chopped up because I know like John Malkovich was supposed to be in it, but they cut him out. They introduced like a love interest for the Thing. Only kind of goes nowhere. It's like really weird. Like they introduce her, and then there's like a scene near the end where like he goes to see her before Galactus shows up, and that's kind of it. Like, it's like, where's the like, shouldn't there be more of a conclusion here? Yeah, it looked, the art style, or like, the art direction was cool. The world they inhabit is, interesting. So yeah, I thought it was solid overall. Like, not the best movie ever, but Marvel's done worse, especially the past 2 years. So it's a good foundation kind of for what the next Marvel movie, Doomsday or whatever the hell it's going to be called.
Yeah, Doomsday. Yeah.
And how they kind of more converge all the universes together, which is like that's I think what Kevin Feige has been saying. Like he's going to merge more of this stuff together. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that on Tuesday.
Yep.
We can talk about it more next week.
Oh, the one. Yeah. This ain't a spoiler, but I mean, it does have a few, like a mid credit sequence, and then like a after credit sequence.
Oh, I'm sure.
The last song they play for the credit sequence might legitimately be one of the worst songs I've ever heard in my life.
And you got to sit through it.
Yeah. And it's like, so it's not like some pop song. It's not like some song that has got, the guy who made the soundtrack, he's usually pretty good about this stuff.
Right.
And Jens loves him. And he wrote this thing, I think, some woman. And it's like this like weird 60s folk song.
Yeah.
That sounds like, fake Joan Baez. And it is terrible. And I was ranting about it to Jens, like after I saw the movie, but before he did, and he was like, "So is it in the movie?" Like he was like, "Is there like a reason for the song existing, or is it is there any you know any justification for the song?" I'm like, "No, it's just in there, and it's terrible." So you got that to look forward to tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure.
And you can let
Naya's
me know what you
excited about it
think.
as well.
Yeah. Oh, we all know. We all know people go see movies for the soundtrack.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I thought Happy Gilmore 2 was actually pretty decent, to be honest. Look, they got a lot of the same hooks as the first one. Obviously, some of the stuff is not as punchy, but they do some great callbacks and some fun stuff. And I love the fact that they play off the whole Live Golf and PGA Tour thing as sort of like the central theme. Aside from like, I love the fact that like Adam Sandler is kind of grown up also in this. Like, it's not him trying to be the same guy from the first movie, right? He's definitely like matured, and his motivations for why he is doing this is like pretty cool. And he's also casted his two daughters and his actual wife in the thing too. So that's pretty neat. Like, yeah, there's a lot of cameos obviously from his posse and then some other ones as well. So yeah, man, I liked it a lot more than I thought. Like, there's a lot of these like they have been doing the like. I wonder if the airplane redo is going to be anything good or not. But like, this is one of those times where what is it? I can't remember his name, but the guy that does Shooter,
Christopher McDonald.
Christopher McDonald's been trying for like 25 years or something to get him to do Happy Gilmore 2.
Right.
And I think this is a success, really. I don't know if they're hopefully they don't try to shoehorn a third one or whatever.
No, they will, but by then Sandler will be like 75 or something. So
yeah. But yeah, I thought that they did a heck of a much better job, than I ever expected for that movie to be. So I'd definitely give it a watch if you got Netflix.
How's MJF?
Yeah, he's in there, and he's funny. He has his moments.
Yeah.
So, I can't remember the name of the thing, but A24 had a movie about, like, literally it's something about like the death of, it's called The Death of a Unicorn. I watched that with Anaya too. Has Paul Rudd in it.
Movie. Yeah. That came out and really, really bombed, unfortunately. But
yeah.
I heard it was like not bad.
It's all right.
Yeah.
Definitely is crazy. It's like a horror movie with unicorns or whatever.
Right.
And it's, Anaya and I being horror movie folks, so it was kind of like, all right, this is not what I expected, but sure, whatever, But yeah, that's all my entertainment stuff for this week that isn't like the normal kind of things that I watch.
To give the Sandman a shot.
Yeah, that had to be like, I don't know if girlfriend's gonna like that or not, but it might be something I'll watch like, on a break at work or something like that.
Right.
Slowly but surely. But all right, we'll be back next week. Thank you, everybody that watched live, listen, watch later. We do appreciate you. Thank you so much. And, give us a like, review, subscribe, all that. That helps us out a lot. And we'll see you next week.
Later.
Everybody.